Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your bonus reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, 3 of Wands. Virtue. Doing the right thing, right? Knowing what the right thing is and doing it even when it is difficult. Sometimes this is a card of identity. Sometimes this is a card that says, I know who I am and I know what I must do. That your actions going forward in life right now are correct. They are righteous, right? Whatever you know in your heart, in your mind, body, soul that you need to do is correct, right? Spirit saying, full speed ahead. Do it. Okay? It's kind of a green light, I guess, even though it's red and orange. This is your entire being kind of pushing you in a particular direction. And maybe this card's showing up because there's still a little bit of that part of you that sort of is reluctant or hesitating. We need to put this card in a little bit of context. All right. Let's see what else is coming out. Yeah, so you got that 5 of Swords. There's an unresolved doubt about what you're planning on doing. I feel like there is this, maybe it's opposition coming from someone else, but I kind of feel as if you know you need to do this, but at the same time, you're kind of feeling like there's no way it's going to work out the right way. You know, the 5 of Swords, we're kind of doubting it. We're doubting ourselves a little bit. And with this card, we tend to, the spirit of the thing, the spirit of the thing, right, gets lost under the weight of the reality, right, of all the other elements. That's why the crown here is at the bottom, right? The pentacles should be upright like this, spirit on top, right? But the spirit of the thing is down beneath everything else, getting sort of lost in all of the confusion, all of the possibilities, just the weight, the sheer weight of what you're doing, the significance. What we got to do is put spirit back on top. Let spirit take the wheel. What you're doing is absolutely correct for you. What you are considering doing. This is kind of like, this is the last, the last couple of prayers before we go into it. Okay. So let's select your angel number card, and then we'll move into the rest of our reading. Your angel number today, Capricorn, is 1616, readjustments, overcoming obstacles, soulmates, romance, affection, support, and comfort. Your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right. On the horizon is the possibility of beginning a new romantic or platonic friendship, as well as a chance to begin life anew with a person from one's past. Everything will fall into place. Okay, interesting words there. I feel like you're about to make a really big course correction. You're about to make like a 90-degree turn in life, let's say, right? And maybe that's kind of what our 3 of Wands is looking like, right? That we could go straight ahead, but there's also these options of turning slightly this way or slightly this way. That maybe you don't like the course that you're on now. We need a little bit of this readjustment energy. A chance to begin life anew. Begin a new romantic or platonic relationship. Yeah, interesting. Let's put the rest of our cards out and see how all of this might come together. Well, there is a Scorpio energy. That's a Prince of Cups. Back here we have the Star and the Magician. And the Change, the 2 of Pentacles. That's pretty good. In your in your need to live a life that is authentic, to really be true to yourself, you know that you need to change your course, right? Because you are the magician. You've done the work. And these two, gosh, the star and the magician is perfect. Because the star, this energy is what creates the magician. Because the star has that twofold energy. It lights you up inside, shows you where your blockages are, shows you what you need to work on in yourself, and then also that light spills out from you, shows you what you need to work on in your environment, externally, internal, external, right? Above and below. Well, allowing the light, the divine light of consciousness, awareness, and spirit, allowing that light to flow through us, to become a clear conduit, a clear channel of this magical, divine, creative light. Well, that is the magician. Okay? So all of this spiritual work is molding us into the very best magicians that we can be. And the magician is the one that can produce something out of nothing, that can either optimize the situation we're in now or can change the situation, adjust, readjust, recalibrate, right? Do the 90-degree turn. Whatever it is that you feel it in your gut. You have that burning feeling that you have to do something. Spirit's saying, yes, it's right, it's correct, do it. The Five of Swords is, of course, our mind, right? We start to intellectualize it. We start to get a little worried. We start to think, this isn't going to work out well. This is going to be a whole lot of trouble. But you also realize with the Prince of Cups underneath that this is something you have to do because otherwise it's kind of like you're denying who you really are. Okay? Also, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. Let's put the rest of our cards out on the table. Let's see what we can learn. Here we have the Death card, the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the Prince of Pentacles. A lot of earth energy over here. Okay. And at first I was thinking, well, maybe the course you're on now, it feels like you're stagnating, right? Maybe it feels like there's really nothing going on, right? We do have the Death card as your general energy. It's time for you to shed some skin. It's time for you to, and this is really, it's the fire energy right here in the middle, right? This is that fire, that will, that spiritual light inside of you. And it came in through all of your spiritual work. Now it's got to come through that magician energy. And it has to be discharged in the environment, in the earth. Right? It has to connect with the material world. Your destiny cannot reach the material world and take hold and become reality unless you allow it to. Okay? In other words, we can interfere with our destiny. We can try to thwart our fate. It will eventually win out in the end, but that process of us fighting against it is going to create so much discord and disorder in your life. And in that sense, the Seven of Pentacles here in your environment, the reason why you feel like things have not been working out is because you've been trying to wrestle and deny your own destiny. This feeling, this fiery feeling you have in your gut, right? This authentic you that's down here beneath the surface, that is right and correct, and it needs to be realized. Okay. So anyway, mystery card, yes, mystery card. Random card, Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to set it down over here. Mr. Ed, the little horse on top. Now we're not going to look at that card until the end. All right. It will tie everything together and it will give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Okay. Let's look around the room. We have our major. We got fire right here. We got some water right here. We got the air. And the air is really what we got to do. We got to make up our mind. Okay? You feel it. You know the will is there. You feel that spiritual impulse about something, right? That you're trying to change. You could be doing a complete 180 in life. You know that feeling. You know that your true path is in that direction. We're just having some difficulty making up our mind, right? We're looking at all the different possibilities. We're going through all the possible ways that this could suck, you know. So we got our air, and then of course we have our earth. The Five of Swords, yes, it is sometimes confusion. Sometimes it's a card that's saying we need to just talk it through, you know. We're having doubts. Yeah, and you're trying to work through your doubts right now. It feels to me, Spirit saying yes. It feels like not even Spirit saying yes, you're saying yes. Your heart and mind, your gut, your instinct, your intuition, everything about it saying yes, but there's that part of our mind that says yes, but what if it doesn't work out? What if it fails? What if it's really, really bad? You know, sometimes we're just nervous to go through with something that we know we really need to do. And we start worrying about it. We start thinking about it. We're having that conversation with ourselves, but at least the 5 is not an 8 of Swords. Thankfully, I hope I didn't jinx our mystery card. Because the 5 at least is us trying to figure out a solution. It's kind of like it's kind of like the wind is like knocking on this door, and the wind is going to find a way to subtly penetrate this. You're not just trying to smack it, just brute force the door open. You're trying to find a way, you're trying to find the easiest path, the path of least resistance. So this is a very good card if we use it that way. I think when we're using it this way, we're thinking, this is never going to work. Oh my gosh, all these ideas are going to fail. It really is terrible. There's no way through, right? It's a card that is self-defeating. We've already acquiesced to failure before we've even started. It's a card of defeat. But this way, with Spirit on top, letting Spirit take the wheel, we're thinking, okay, this is going to work. I know it's going to work. I know I have to do it, and I will do it. How do I do it? You know, we're going to be subtle like the wind. The wind is going to keep blowing against your door and your windows, and it's going to find a little way in. That's when we get a draft in the house, and we say, it's cold in here. We get a blanket. This way says, I can't. Already defeated. Yeah, if you say that, I can't do it, then yeah, you're right, you can't, and you won't. But this way, if we can turn this around a little bit, then we start to say, I can, I'm just not sure how yet. So I've got to figure it out. So now we're problem solving, right? And this is good. Trying to figure out how to make these changes in life that you know you need to make because of this Prince of Cups underneath the surface here. Right? This is the need to be authentic. The Prince of Cups is someone who really has this, I don't know, I feel like it's this magical self inside of them. And it really needs to come out. And the more we try to tell it to be quiet, the more it's going to like cause problems, you know? It's kind of like Harry Potter or Dobby, really. Remember Dobby? As much as you try to keep him locked in the closet, he's going to make noise. He's going to rattle the door and just do these whatever things he does. And it's going to cause a scene, you know. Going to make us behave in ways that we don't comprehend. Going to bring about situations for us that we do not wish for, right? That seem like obstacles. And it's kind of like, why would you do that to me? You know, why? It's like, you know, this is that subconscious energy that's going to tie your shoelaces together. Each foot, each shoe tied together, you know, because it's under the surface. And so we know that. And I think that because when any of us deny certain parts of ourselves, especially this creative, I feel like this is an inner artist in a way. But when we deny that essential part of ourselves, it's going to start messing with us. And you may have noticed some things going on in your life where it's just, I keep like sabotaging myself, or like I keep making these really weird mistakes. I don't really know why. Maybe it's something a little bit more obvious, right? Maybe it is the feeling as if everything that you are trying to do, everything that you get involved with, it just seems like there's some kind of dissatisfaction with it. It's almost like everything that you do doesn't seem to really work. It's like everything I try to cook just ends up burning on the stove. Why? What am I doing wrong? So the Prince of Swords is that part of you that really needs to find expression. Okay, and it's under the surface. So I feel like you're growing in that awareness that there is this version of you that really is a more authentic version of you, right? This is sort of Capricorn 2.0 here. And I think that until we find a way to start expressing this part of ourselves, we're not going to experience true and real happiness. Now, this is the only water card in the spread, right? This is all that happiness, this is all that joy, this is all that creativity that wants to find a way to build the world. All right, so you're making changes in that direction. Now, the Star card in the past position, sort of yesterday's energy. You got the message. You saw the signs. You saw the writing on the wall. Okay, whether we're talking about a business thing or a relationship or a school thing or whatever it is, you saw the writing on the wall. Spirit showed you and gave you this sort of confirmation that this is something you need to do, whether it's a 90-degree turn, maybe it's only a 10-degree turn, whatever. Maybe it's a complete 180. You've gotten the confirmation already. I think that you're somebody who has done a lot of spiritual work. I think you had a spiritual awakening, something that you would definitely call a spiritual awakening. I think last 6 months is what I'm feeling. And I think since then, everywhere you turn is another symbol, flashing neon lights telling you, yes, that's what you got to do, right? Contemplating this big move in life. And I think you're somebody that tends to trust in spirit. You tend to follow the signs and symbols and synchronicities. But in this situation, maybe this is just a big one. This is a serious thing. That we're trying to follow the signs and symbols and synchronicities, but we're just not sure how. We're not saying we can't. You're saying, I can, but how do I do it? Okay. Now we've got the Magician up here at the top, and you know what it's like to be in the flow. You know what it's like to be on the frequency. When you're really tuned in to spirit, it's as if you can create anything out of nothing. That everything you touch turns to gold. And this is what you want. And you realize that by connecting with your true self, or this kind of updated version of yourself, letting that part of you exist, is going to put you in better touch with your magician energy. Now, we all want to be just the purest, best magician we could be, the clear channel for that spiritual light, right? The perfect conduit for that creative energy. Because we know that when we're in that mode, everything is just going right. We're getting green lights, Getting all the green lights. You read that book, Matthew McConaughey, Green Lights? Yeah. And so we want to get back in that zone. We want to get back on that frequency. Okay? Because you're somebody that that can either adapt to the situation you're in and make it work, right? or change the situation. Just because you can adapt doesn't mean you need to. Okay? And I think this is where some of your confusion has been kind of settling, right? Especially when our Five of Swords is this way, the usual way. We're thinking, yeah, like I feel the impulse from Spirit, but, I know the Magician, and maybe this is a test. Maybe this is a situation where Spirit's really testing me to see if I can accept the situation and I can adapt to what's here. Well, how do we know? How do we know the difference? How do we know when Spirit's saying, stay here and make the best of it? This is your lesson, right? Or when Spirit's saying, get the heck out of here. Go create the life you want, right? Go get happy. Yeah. Well, I think it all has to do with this Seven of Pentacles. I think if we're doing what Spirit intends us to do, whether we're talking Spirit, divine energy, or divine mind, universal consciousness, or just your own creative genius, your own true will, whatever you want to call it, doesn't have to be some spiritual thing. When you're in the zone, when you're on the frequency, you get the green lights. If everywhere you turn, and when you're adapting to this life, and everything you do seems thwarted and blocked, and your shoelaces are always tied together and you're falling over, that's Spirit's way of saying, you got to pay attention to something, right? So if we make this big 180 or 90 or 45 or 10, you're going to start getting more of those green lights. You're going to feel like everything you do is just like Spirit's clearing the way for you. And that's how you know that Spirit wants you to go in that direction. It's not to say that the true path in life is always going to be easy. No. But it will have confirmations. And in some ways, yeah, it will be a little bit easy. There'll still be challenges. But a lot of the challenges come from us not being authentic, not doing things that we know we should be doing or the way we should be doing them. When we go against our own nature, we get way more red lights than we need to get, So we got our Two of Pentacles in the future position. Maybe the idea is to start small. Maybe the idea is to, in some ways, test the water. Maybe test the wind, perhaps, by picking up a little bit of dirt and just kind of throwing it and seeing which way the wind blows it, Start small. Be proactive. Start taking action. Take that first step forward. And maybe you'll kind of see where Spirit's kind of nudging you. If you're looking around and you see all red lights, which one's going to turn green first? I'm going to go this way. Green light's that way. Okay. And then when you see blockage, red light, we're going to have to steer a little bit this way until we find the green. Go where the green lights are taking you right now. One sort of section, one block at a time. You ever drive those, play those racing car games, at the arcade or something? I love those games. I'm very good at those games. But you notice when you're on that racetrack, there's a lot of roads, it seems like, right? But it's the track that you're supposed to be on, the course of the race, is designated by the roadblocks that say, no, you can't go down these side alleys. You're not allowed to go there in the game, right? You try and your car just sort of bangs into the wall and then you get reset back into the middle and you got to go. And it's kind of like life. You know which ways you're not supposed to go down. But obviously it's more subtle than that. Sometimes not so subtle. Sometimes you try to go the wrong way and you just smack right into the barricade. And we stumble, we fall down, we land right on our butts. We hit the dirt, we hit the pavement. Okay. That's a lot different as we get to the path of the serpent. That's a lot different than us meeting with obstacles and overcoming those obstacles. Okay, and I think it's up to our own spiritual discernment to know when it's really a roadblock, and when this is an obstacle that Spirit's saying, okay, this is just, it's a hurdle that you have to get over, but you're still on the right racetrack. Okay. Now on the path of the Serpent, we've got the Death card. To me, it feels like you're leaving an old self behind. I don't know. I was going to say you're leaving an old life behind, but I don't feel that way. I feel it's more accurate to say that you're leaving your old self behind you, that it's a shedding of a skin. Yeah. It could really be that you're kind of starting this new intentional journey. Maybe you're starting literally something new. You're starting to pursue your art or your creativity or music or whatever it is, writing. Maybe you're going to start racing cars. I don't know. Maybe you're living a life where you need to have more fun. You need to spend more time at the arcade. Yeah. But it's a difficult transition because it does feel with the Death card that you're leaving something behind. And you're leaving behind what has been familiar and comfortable, because it's getting pretty hard to deny this spiritual urge. Yeah. And so we're moving forward. Life is all about progress. We're always traveling. Okay? And it's just trying to get into that current that makes it a little bit easier to flow. And yeah, we need our oars. We got to steer a little bit. We got to avoid the obstacles a little bit, but the universe is behind us. We feel the push. We're in the current, right, of that water. Now, if we're trying to go the other way or trying to go upstream or something, it's a lot more difficult. Okay, and there's a difference there. You're trying to paddle upstream, right? Versus we're paddling downstream. We still got to paddle, and we've still got to move out of the way of the rocks and stuff, and other kayakers and stuff. But we're in that flow. Okay, and we're steadily moving forward. It may feel a little bit scary because it's kind of like a new journey, and I don't know if this is a work thing or if it's a romantic thing, if it's in terms of relationships, right? So there's a little bit of fear there. There always is. Transitions are scary. Transitions are scary. But they are inevitable, right? We're not going to stay the same. The rivers are flowing. The rivers of life are flowing, whether we're participating in that or not. So it's better to grab a paddle and a boat, right? At least get in a kayak. You don't want to be just in the water, just yourself, Get in a boat. Grab a paddle. Let's go. Yeah. In terms of your relationships, 7 of Pentacles. There is this feeling of being in a dead-end situation somewhere. Okay. The 7 of Pentacles is, it's a situation. It's a relationship for you. Could be romantic, could be platonic. Of course, let's not forget our angel number, right? 1616. Your level of self-control is sufficient, right? And that really is your identity. That's your will right here. On the horizon is the possibility of beginning a new romantic or platonic friendship, as well as a chance to begin life anew with a person from your past. Everything will fall into place. The thing from the past, I don't know. That's the one part of that card that I don't know why it's in there, But as far as starting the new relationships, yes, because the 7 of Pentacles are those barricades on that racetrack when you're playing that video game. Those are the things that you can't go down that road. The game won't let you. You're just banging into it. Wasting time. You're going to be in last place, So I think in terms of some of these, maybe it's both platonic and romantic relationships, business, personal relationships, public, relationships, relationships with yourself, Relationship with God, goddess, deity, higher self, true self, guardian angel, spirit guides, ancestors, whatever. You have felt a lack of progress. And I feel like Spirit's saying, yeah, because you're trying to go down this alleyway over here. The game won't let you. You just got to, 16, you got to readjust. You got to turn the steering wheel a little bit and just get back on the actual track. Okay? And trust me, we've all done that. Playing those racing games. We think the course is going this way and bam, right into it seems like it's like a road runner. Wile E. Coyote, where he paints the tunnel in the road and, thinking, I'll fool that road runner, right? And he never does. He ends up hitting the wall, thinking that it's an actual road. And that's what the Seven of Pentacles is. It's not saying you're wrong. It's not saying that you're in the wrong race or whatever, but it's saying that you're trying to turn down a road that you shouldn't be on. So we need to do that, whether it's 90 degrees, maybe it's 180, whatever it is. But you know that it's not, that something in your life right now is this kind of dead end feeling. Something is not bearing the fruit that it should. There is a relationship in your life that's not bearing the fruit that it should. Okay? And the card of the obstacle, of course, is the change. It's doing the thing. It's the worry. It's the frustration. It's the kind of it's the instability, right? Especially we got these 2 5s. We're subtly penetrating the door here. We're subtly penetrating the next steps, and it's starting to really kind of loosen the structure. See, the 5 of Pentacles, it is a worry. It is, we're feeling upset about the changes taking place in the material environment. See, we like stability. We like to feel comfortable in our lives. And that's part of the adaptation of the magician. We can optimize. We can stay where we're at and be okay. This could be a 4 of Pentacles, right? But we know that this isn't satisfying. We know that this isn't going to last. We know that the situation is deteriorating, maybe rather quickly now. And what that feels like, it feels like instability. It feels like everything's coming down, everything's crashing down around us. What's happening in this card is that the light is breaking forth from underneath that crust. Okay? And we've got to break through this crust, to let this light out. We've got to make these changes. We've got to turn toward the light, even if it is going to involve moving some things around. We're going to get out of the harmony for a minute, or what we felt might have been harmony at one point. But I think you feel this spiritual urge, right? And so whatever was stable and comfortable at one time, it's not. It doesn't feel that way anymore. And so now we better grab our paddle and get in the boat, because things are changing. And it would be better if we were prepared and we could help to steer the course a little bit. Help to steer the boat, But we don't like instability. We don't like feeling as if the ground beneath our feet is starting to get kind of shaky. Now, I'm from California. I'm familiar with that. Anytime we get a 5, we start looking for the 4, because we think, I don't like all this movement. I don't like all this doubt. I just want things to go back to normal, But they can't for you, and I don't think that you really, truly, deeply within yourself want them to. So we've got to let this light break forth from under. Let this true self come out and get on the path that you're meant to be on. Whether this is a big 180 turn or just a little adjustment, do the thing. Yeah, do the thing. Because the only way for you to build your happy life, here we have the Prince of Pentacles, right? We have water and earth, the Prince of Cups and Prince of Pentacles. The only way for you to build your happy life, your authentic life, right? This is the builder. This is the authentic life. The only way for you to build that authenticity is to break ground, to start doing it. And once you start going in your rightful direction, okay, things are going to change. The universe is going to kind of start. Things are going to start happening, right? Once it's like, kind of like in those movies where as soon as you turn the lock in the door, everything starts rumbling around you in the castle or whatever, you know. And it's going to happen, and it's going to freak us out a little bit. And we're thinking, oh gosh, what I did. Maybe I'm on my own now, right? Maybe I just did something that now leaves me kind of feeling like it's all on me, right? Feeling like I don't have anybody with me, you know, and it's all up to me now. And maybe that's part of our death card energy, which is this emergence of your true self, and the emergence of your magician that says, yeah, it is all on me, that I can create something out of nothing. First, I have to get rid of, if we want to rearrange our life, sometimes we've got to tear down the thing that's there. You know, we want to rebuild this barn into a really beautiful barn. Well, we got to get rid of the old barn first. You know, you're renovating your house. You got to tear out the old kitchen to put the new kitchen in. You're not just going to put it on top of it, right? It's so funny to me when I see, especially in California with Caltrans, they're paving the roads, right? The freeways, they're repaving stuff. They don't take away the old road. They just put a new layer on top, and it's just a little bit thicker. So it's like every year the road, every year the earth just kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger in diameter, you know, because we just keep layering the roads up, up, up. And then over here, where we're now kind of in the North Midwest area, they remove the old road, and then they lay down a new one. And to me, that feels more, that feels like feels like the right way to do it, rather than just, let's just put another layer on top and cross our fingers, you know. Nothing against Caltrans. Those people work day and night all year round to make sure California has roads. I'm from California, I can say that. But you know what I mean, you get the point, right? Let's look at our mystery card, though. It's before I put my foot in my mouth. If there are any Caltrans workers out there, let me know why that is. Why do we, maybe it's just easier or maybe it's better, I don't know. To me, it feels like taking out the old road, putting down a new one, rather than just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon, I don't know. Mystery card, water energy. That's what I want. Let's see. It's a King of Wands. But this is good, because this is now you following this will. You're fixed in this decision, in this momentum. You're not going anywhere. You've decided, and this is it. This is a fixed fire energy. This is a will. This is a fire. This is a flame that's not going to be put out. Okay, it's like the decision has been made, and you're going full speed ahead in this very consistent energy. Now, the king in the Pamela Coleman Smith Tarot is the same as the prince in the Thoth Tarot. So, same one. Prince, we could call it a Prince of Wands. Prince of Cups. Prince of Pentacles. You have the will. You have committed your will to building your authentic and happy life. So this shows me that you're headed in the right direction, that your doubts have subsided, and you are finding that step-by-step subtle pathway that the wind needs to take to get through this, to get this course correction completed in a slow and steady manner, but a very consistent, very powerful energy. This is a great confirmation. Prince, prince, and prince. Creating that life. making the decision, having the will, having the sustained enthusiasm to build your authentic and happy life. Whether it's a 180 turn right now or just a minor course correction, you got it. Yeah. And what we got is an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. If you don't want to watch the extendeds here, you can go to the website, doveandserpenttarot.com, and you can sign up over there and watch the extended readings over there. Okay? If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything. But it really does support the channel, and I really do appreciate that support. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this